This cocktail has got some bite. This week, let me show you how to make a rattlesnake. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt, I'm the whiskey nerd, and like I said, this week I'm making a rattlesnake cocktail, a drink with a bit of a bite to it. Now, this cocktail comes from Harry Craddock in the 1930s Savoy Cocktail Book, and he said this drink would either kill a rattlesnake, cure a rattlesnake bite, or make you see rattlesnakes. That's because it uses rye whiskey and absinthe in the drink. So absinthe famously will make some people hallucinate depending on the ingredients used in the absinthe, but me, I'm using a local absinthe here in Ireland. So this is made by the Rebel City Distillery in the Rebel City itself in Cork, and it's a very nice, actually very nice, tasty absinthe. One of the few absinthes I've found that actually do taste nice. It also uses rye whiskey. I'm using the Koval Peach Brandy Aged Rye, which is a very nice rye, has some good core of rye whiskey spiciness and herbal notes, but it's accented by a little bit of fruitiness because it was aged in peach brandy rye. It also uses lemon juice and egg white, sugar syrup, and a bit of bitters at the end, just to kind of round out the cocktail and give it a nice flavour reminiscent of a whiskey sour, but with a bit more bite. So that's enough talking, let's get to making the cocktail. It is a shaken drink, and we're going to pop a nice rock of ice into our shaker tin, but first we're going to crack our egg white just to make sure we just get the egg white, we don't get anything of the yolk into the cocktail because that would end up ruining it. So we're just going to crack the egg here over our small tin, and we're just going to pour the egg yolk between the two halves of the shell, and that will get us the egg white separated out, and we'll be able to take that and then leave the oak behind for our cocktail, just like that. And next up, it's the rest of our ingredients. We're going to start off with our rye whiskey. It uses 50 ml of rye whiskey. Like I said, I'm using the Koval Peach Brandy Aged Rye, but if you want, you can use whatever rye you want. It's just important to get that bit of spicy kick you do get in a rye whiskey. Then it's 20 ml of lemon juice. Now this is just freshly squeezed lemon juice. I've just passed it through a fine strainer just so I don't have any of the lemon pulp in the cocktail. I don't need to worry about having that carry through and using a fine strainer later. It then uses 15 ml or half an ounce of sugar syrup just to add a nice bit of sweetness and counteract all the other ingredients we've got in the drink. So it was 15 ml in there. And lastly, the cocktail says to use 3 dashes of absinthe. Now I don't have a dasher top for my absinthe, so I'm just going to use a bar spoon, which should be about 3 dashes of absinthe into the cocktail. So just going to be very careful not to over pour because I don't want to overbalance the cocktail. So that's 1 bar spoon of absinthe in there. And then we're going to pop the top on our shaker and shake it away for about 20-25 seconds until we get it nice and cold. Okay, I think that is nicely chilled now, so we're going to pop the top off our cocktail shaker and we're going to go ready to strain it out. We're going to strain it into a nice chilled coupe glass so we have a nice kind of cold cocktail, and we should have a good head of foam from that egg white. Oh yes, just look at that. Oh, that egg white has given us a very nice head of foam on this cocktail, but it's not finished yet. We're just going to get a lemon peel, express the oils from the lemon over the top, and then use a bit of bitters on top of the cocktail just to give one last little bit of aroma and one last bit of bite to the cocktail. So just a couple of drops of Angostura bitters on top just to make sure we've got a really nice strong aroma to the cocktail. And that right there is a rattlesnake. Now real quick, while I wait for this drink to settle, if you're new here, scroll down, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. I put out cocktail recipes on Fridays and whiskey reviews on Wednesdays, so if you like what you see, make sure you hit subscribe and you'll see some more. Now I think that is about as settled as it's going to get, so I'm going to go in and take a sip. Cheers. It's got a couple of layers to it. I really do like this cocktail because when you go up to it, it looks kind of like a standard whiskey sour. When you approach it on the nose, you get the lemon, you get the bitters, you know it's going to have a nice strong taste. And when you go in to the cocktail, you get the lemon, yeah, you get the sugar, yeah, but then you also get that good hit of rye spiciness, and behind it all, a little punch, a little bite from that absinthe. I know a lot of people are kind of scared of absinthe or hesitant about absinthe, but if you find one you like, it can really add a lot of flavor to a cocktail because it's actually a surprisingly sweet liqueur Yeah, it's got anise and yeah, it's kind of licoricey in flavour, but it can add a lot of nice flavour to a cocktail. And especially in this formulation, it really does give the cocktail a bit of length, a bit of a tail on the end, because after the sharpness of the lemon kind of fades away, after the rye spiciness fades away, the kind of earthy note of that absinthe does shine through and does kind of let you know there's more to this cocktail than meets the eye. Have you got any favourite cocktails that use absinthe? If you do, let me know down in the comments below because I'd love to try them out. I'm going to keep on enjoying this and I will see you next time. Sláinte.